Hello, everybody. Welcome to One for the Other podcast. It's another one. We're listening to
We
music.
back.
We're back. Every week we're back. Should be expected by this point. We listen to music. We watch movies. We recommend one record and one movie for the other to watch, and we give our thoughts on it on this podcast. So Josh had the record last week. What did you recommend, Joshua? Enlighten our audience.
Last week, I took a song that I had heard on a little app called TikTok. You heard this app, this TikTok?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's this TikTok. Anyways, there's a song that has gotten popular on TikTok a bit by this weird gothy synthwave type thing. So I found the album and I said we're gonna listen to this. It is pronounced Itachi, but it means floors, by the band Molchat Doma. For context, all of this is in Russian. They're Belarusian, but the track listing and all is in Russian. We don't speak Russian, nor do we read it or write it. So we are going to be referring to them in their track listing order. So 1, 2, 3 is only 9 songs, so it shouldn't be too confusing. But if they didn't name their songs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but we don't know what they named them, and it's hard enough to
We're too lazy to translate them all.
Yeah, I would
because
just get confused.
We don't
I
give
think
a single F.
Yeah, but yeah, so it was something I don't think either of us had heard. A smaller genre that's recently gotten bigger. What did you think of it, my boy?
My boy, this was pretty fucking cool. I like the aesthetic a lot. That was the one word that I used a lot in my notes, and I kind of hate myself for it. But this dark, dreary, dystopian aesthetic comes across super, super well, just with how they record and what instruments they use, and everything layers into a clear and distinct image and place in my mind. So I thought they were very successful in achieving that. And it's fucking groovy because it's total 80s dark wave shit.
Oh,
and it's just has these fucking synth drum machines that I just love the super fast consecutive of a bass drum or something that would sound fucking stupid on a real drum set but sounds pretty fun on a drum machine. But fucking yeah, what did you think?
I had a fucking blast listening to this. I think this album may be something that will turn me towards more 80s style stuff, because I typically stay away from that. I'm more of a 70s guy and a 60s guy. I don't really love the 80s and the synth poppy stuff, but this, I thought, like you said, it felt very 80s. I was we should have listened to this when we watched Drive. It would have been hand in hand.
It definitely would have.
Yeah, but yeah, it was so much fun to listen to. I was dancing all the time. Put this on always, and you could just, they're different enough but cohesive enough, and it was like you said, the aesthetic of this. You're hearing this do 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 do, and then the singer comes in. And you're I don't know what's going on, but I'm vibing to it. I'm so
fucking vibing, dude.
Should my body moving. I'm not even doing this.
Fuck yeah, man. I also love how these guys wear their influences on their sleeve. Definitely a lot of influence from the Smiths, New Order, especially Joy Division, with how they approach lyrical styles and singing. I think the singer is definitely trying to do a combination of Ian Curtis and Robert Smith from The Cure.
Yeah.
And Depeche Mode, I hear a lot of Depeche Mode in this, and I fucking love that shit. Just with how the someone anyways, so yeah, the Depeche Mode I fucking love, and it blends it. It's not like derivative. It's more of like taking from. I guess it is derivative in the sense that they're taking from a large group of 80s musicians and then putting it into a machine and then not like spewing out their image and their like cohesive you know their cohesive sound. Jesus Christ, it's been a long day.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a really nice collection of all of that, and it does feel of its own. It's funny because, like I said, I heard this on TikTok. The song that was popular was number 7 with the parentheses, and I would say that is one of the more goth songs on it. It is the least like it uses the least amount of synth stuff as well. So that's the one that I had heard the most, and I was really expecting more of that type, with the more minimalism in the instrumentals and really playing with that. But it kind of took me for a loop when I heard some of these bigger productions that they had going on, and I wasn't expecting it, but I really enjoyed what they would do and how they would bring in those crazy synth shit that they would do. It was fucking fun.
It's very fun. And I like the guitar tone a lot. I think it fits perfect. And I like how much they use it too. Like it's not just all synths. It has a sense of analog with the guitar tone and the vocals and everything. And some bass lines too. Some bass lines are performed live, I can tell.
Yeah.
And like
Speaking
the production. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
No.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, speaking of the guitar, something that came up to me a couple times in songs 2 and 7. Maybe I was thinking of not 7, but on specifically 2, I noticed the guitar was almost kind of surf rocky, and I was like, this is weird. Like I can hear this like surf rock in the background, kind of buried under this, and it fits really well. I was like, what? How did you? What?
Yeah, it's super cool. I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna. I think that it kind of has a Mac DeMarco guitar tone to it.
Yeah.
And it's fucking weird that the dark wave and Mac DeMarco guitar tone works, but it does. So yeah, the production on this thing, it's like, it's interesting. It seems like some songs were produced more than others. Like the 8th track sounded kind of weak and like just like far away. I don't know, like the groove didn't hit me as hard as it did with say like the 2nd track, and it was like really strange difference because it, since everything is so consistent and a lot of the sounds kind of blend together, any change in production is very, very evident. So I think that, I don't know, it's kind of to its detriment a little bit when it's like they're taking a different approach to recording or a different, a different approach to recording essentially and production.
Yeah, no, I definitely felt that. I mean, the 8th track was the only track I didn't write anything at all about. And so, it was like, whatever, I'd rather listen to other stuff. And yeah, it was a bit of a strange shift with that. And speaking of like the production of it, the way they would intro 2 and 4, where they had it starting out more quiet and not just going right into it and having that fade stuff, that was so fucking good, dude.
Yeah, I liked that a lot. That was pretty sick. Fucking, oh man. Yeah, so as I go along and I'm listening to this record from front to back, right. 1 to 9, I start off and I'm like fucking jamming, and I'm like, holy shit, yeah, this is like perfect. Okay, sidetrack, but this is the perfect record to play Binding of Isaac to. I played this record like 4 times on Binding of Isaac runs. If any of you are fans of that video game, I highly recommend listening to this record while you're playing it. It fits perfectly. Anyways, as I was listening to it, I get to the second track. Second track's probably my favorite. Third track is fucking awesome. And then I get to the fourth track, and I'm like, still vibing, but I'm like, this groove's kind of weak, and it's all starting to sound the same. And it's just, it all started to blend together for me after the fifth track. Or no, at the fifth track. Because at the sixth track, there's actually a nice change of pace with the groove being centered around a fucking cowbell synth sound and a synth line instead of the guitar. And then you have the seventh track, which is actually one of my favorites because of how different it actually sounds in terms of melody and, the dissonance in it really, really, I fucking love that. I love the dissonance in the melody and how much they used it. But then the 8th and 9th track, kind of a lackluster ending to the record. So I think if you put this record on shuffle, you will definitely have a better experience with this record. When you listen to it front to back, it all kind of starts to sound the same.
That's interesting, because I did mostly listen to it on shuffle after the first few times, and so I didn't experience that as much. But yeah, I would have to go back and listen to it just all the way through again. But yeah, I could totally see how that happens, and just like the way the ends. I did like that last song though. I really liked what they did with the synth, and the like extended ending they kind of gave that song to wrap up the record. I really enjoyed. I the ending is just like, that is just on loop in my head, that constant. It's just like
it's funny. So yeah, I mean, that's all I really had to say about this record.
What did you think of the first song, the vocals? Because most of the time, like we said earlier, it's very
yeah.
But the first song, he sings a bit more and like really like extends those notes. What did you think of that?
No, I fucking loved it. I said it sounded exactly like a New Order song, and I actually really enjoyed it. Just hearing, this guy has some vocal chops, and I think it's cool to open the record with that, because it kind of sets an expectation and then takes it immediately away with the second track, and it just sets up an entirely new set of expectations for this record, which is super cool.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I was like, ooh, it's fun.
Oh, shit, boy.
Oh, shit. And I just love to see, like, I can just imagine, like, listening to it, imagine, like, them at a show or something, and the singer's just, like, up on the microphone and barely moving, and he's, like, deadpan, like...
Oh, totally. Totally.
Drugged out of his mind. I would love to see that.
Yeah, this would be a fucking riot live. It'd be awesome. Fuck.
All right.
Yeah, man. Let's rate this bitch. What are you rating it?
I'm giving this 10 out of 10. I love this album.
Holy fuck. That's crazy. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. I think it is a very enjoyable experience overall, and I think if I listened to it on shuffle, I'd like it even more.
Yeah.
And I love, their Western influences and just how they got all of them to create their own sound. And I'm kind of looking forward to what they're going to do in the future. Definitely. I'm going to keep an eye on this band and see if they, I don't know, maybe get more punk, maybe a little more synth pop, maybe a little, I don't know. I there's no predicting. But I think this is gonna be a band to keep an eye on.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's interesting that you're wrong, but where are we gonna put this on our list? I think you know where I want to put it. So where do you want to put it to be more realistic?
So read out the list.
We got
the top
Pet
5.
Sounds.
Okay.
First column I'll read.
Okay.
Pet Sounds, Folsom Prison, Love Supreme, Exploited.
Huh. Put it below Folsom Prison.
I'm okay with that.
I think my experience with that record was a lot more consistently fun front to back. Unlike this. I had a lot of fun with this record, but it's the progression of liking this record, if that makes sense, through the track list.
No, I can understand that, and the fact that I missed that is why I am more willing to be like, yeah, I can see that, because I definitely did miss that, and I can see how that would affect, the enjoyment of the record.
Definitely. Aight, boy.
We gotta stop listening to good shit, because I gotta move way more. God damn it. We've done 9 now. This is our 9th album. And when we put it 3rd, I have to move 6 other albums.
That's kind of funny. Isn't there like a tier list maker on the internet somewhere that you could use?
Yeah,
I swear to God,
ours
there's one.
is.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
We'll do that
later. I think, yeah, once we have enough, we're going to put it like S, A, B, C, F.
More traditional tier list.
Definitely. But we need to expand the repertoire.
Yeah, it's hard to do a tier list with 9 things in it.
Yeah. Okay. So I had the responsibility for picking the movie last week. And I picked the A24 movie. How many is that? 5? 4?
Let me take a look at the list and I'll see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 5.
5? This is our 5th A24 film.
A majority of the films that we have watched.
More than half.
A24.
Oh, man. Moonlight. The A24 film Moonlight is made in 2016, directed by Barry Jenkins, and produced by Brad Pitt. Believe it or not. Yeah.
I don't believe it.
So I feel like in our crazy times right now, I feel like looking at a piece of prominent black art and emotional black art was definitely something I wanted to do. So fucking yeah, Josh, what'd you think?
Yeah. Well, before I say anything, like you said, the black art thing I thought was great. And what's really funny is I had just seen a video like Tuesday maybe of like the idea of the white savior, like a thing in film that's like bad because it's not good. And they were like, Moonlight is a good example of how to not do that, how to tell a good story. So I was really proud of us for like having that, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing good. And then I watched it because that was before I'd actually watched it.
Yeah,
and I watched the movie. I said, wow, and it's a good movie. This fucking epic.
This is kind of an epic fucking movie. Not gonna lie. Not gonna frickin' lie. What'd you like so much about it?
I really enjoyed just the plot structure and how it all moved along. I was so engrossed in it. I thought there was really interesting devices they used beyond the progression of time of the age thing. Yeah. There was interesting plot devices within each thing, like how Juan was helping the kid but also selling the mom crack. That's a really fucking interesting plot device, and definitely. Like it makes you think. And then like all the shit that he goes through, and there was just these really cool like moments that was like, this is an interesting story within a larger, also very interesting story.
Yeah, man. It's fucking real, and it tackles some really really real shit, and I think they tackled it very tastefully, very, you know, thoughtfully of all of these people involved and in these
Mm-hmm.
communities in real life. And you know, in terms of the technical aspects of this movie, like wow, like
Mm-hmm.
holy for Rick, the cinematography is fucking sick. Like
Yeah.
the first goddamn shot of the movie where it's like encircling Juan and his what do they call him? I should know this, but like the guy who's selling the drugs,
Right.
it's like encircling them both, and it's like
Yeah.
dizzying, and it's like all one shot, and it's fucking creates this sense of like unease, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like in how the camera didn't always move. They knew when to put it down.
Yeah,
But when they moved the camera, it was really interesting what they did. I thought their use of movement with the camera was really interesting, and I really enjoyed that.
yeah, I agree. Lighting was freaking good. Everyone looked fantastic, whether they were, you know, beat up or, you know, they have grills or whatever. It all looked very genuine, very realistic, very, you know, nothing in the technical aspects, nothing regarding the technical aspects of this film hurt it at all.
Not at all. And actually, guess what I paid attention to this week? Guess what?
What? The score?
The score. It was really cool. They said we're going to tell a black story and we're not just going to use hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And there was moments where they did that it fit, and I thought that was great. And I like you totally should be able to use it. It's a black art form, but
Yeah.
like they were like we're going to do something different, and it worked really well. I thought the like more classical shit they did fit into it, and I thought it fit the overall tone of the movie more of just like introspective and like trying to figure out what the fuck you're doing with
Yeah.
your life. So I thought it was really good. And there was one when he's walking after he gets beat up and he's gonna go hit the kid with the chair,
Mm-hmm.
and he's doing that walk. They did like this droning like
Yeah.
ambient thing that was intense and scary, and I loved it.
That was very, very fucking cool. Yeah, man. It's there's some great performances in this movie. I especially want to just talk about Sharon's mom. Like, wow. That is some wow. It's touching just how, you know, you see, you know, the inconsistency of her mood and the like how do I put this? It's just it felt very real, almost a little too real sometimes. Like holy fuck, like you could definitely tell that the actress put her heart and fucking soul into this role, and it definitely paid off.
Yeah, and I mean the writing supports that. Just the dialogue in this movie
Yeah.
is insane. Like you can't. I mean, the actors were all amazing. Never for a second were you doubting anything or thinking about them as an actor. And I think a lot of that helped with just like how good that dialogue was and how much it was written specifically for this. Like this, you couldn't transplant this dialogue into any other film. It works solely for this, and it has its really great identity, and I really loved that.
Yeah, definitely. I think the usage of silence in the dialogue was an especially prominent part of it, and it just plays up the shyness and the introspection of the main character to a T. It totally works.
Yeah, this was another movie where we have a main character who doesn't speak a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but I think once again the actor did it in such a way where you could tell exactly why it was, where he just doesn't really know what to say.
Yeah.
He doesn't quite know who he is. So contrast that to Drive, where Ryan Gosling used the silence and made it to be like kind of a cocky thing, or just like a fuck you type thing.
Intimidation kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like this actor was able to do it to show that awkwardness, and I thought that it came through really well. I really liked that.
Even the little kid played this character with a lot of depth and nuance. Like, this kid is like 9 years old, 10 years old, and he plays a character like that. Like, holy shit. Keep an eye on that kid. What a fucking Oscar, man. So yeah, those are all of the good things, my praises with the movie. But there were some things that I had some issue with. I think the second chapter is the my main gripe. It's where most of my problems with the movie come up. So in this movie, a big plot point is how he gets made fun of by his peers in high school and in elementary school and probably middle school, whatever. And I thought the way they did that definitely fell into the generic Hollywood version of bullying. It's like knocking books out of people's hands and calling them fucking, it's like right to their face, and it's not like passive aggressive at all. It's just extremely, aggressive, and it's like you have to show it to a point to where it's going to have a massive impact on your character.
Right.
But I think it could have been more nuanced in how they did it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't really think about that when it was happening, but I can definitely see, just thinking back on it now.
Like that main kid, Terrell, is just kind of a cartoon bully.
Yeah, he is. I kind of felt like it seemed less like a typical bully and more like a I forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind. I just nothing. That sentence ended right there. So I don't know what that was going.
It's been a long day, folks. So yeah, that was one of my main problems, and then another. You could argue both sides of this, and I can see both sides of this, but the way they approached Juan's death in the film definitely was like, it's definitely shown that a lot of time has passed since then, but I think we as an audience deserved more than just a few passing comments about, his funeral. He's been dead a while. It's like,
yeah,
what?
That did bug me, that it was like such a great character too, like someone I really wanted to see more of, and it's definitely an interesting choice. Like I said, great plot device to have that mentor character be torn away at another really transformative moment in his life where he's just coming to terms with his sexuality. And so I thought that was interesting, but yeah, it was like there's no payoff for it. It felt a little bit like the actor just left or like wasn't available or something.
Yeah, maybe. Oh shit. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. What I was thinking is that it probably just got cut out of the movie because it's already a pretty long movie.
Yeah, that could be too.
It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes. So a large portion of this movie explaining some of those things probably could have got taken out. But yeah, that's definitely something I wanted to see explored more. And then speaking of Juan, Mahershala Ali, he just does this fucking tongue thing. It's like after anything he says or does, he like sticks out his tongue. And then he like to lick his lips or whatever. And he has like I don't know. I just couldn't take him seriously after I started noticing that. I was like, Mahershala, stop. Stop with the tongue, man. You're freaking me out. That's just a silly thing.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, the bully and Juan's death, and I think this might just be another case of it being cut out of the movie. But I feel like the introspection and inner struggle of the main character, is it Chiron? How do you say it?
Chiron.
Chiron?
Like Tyrone, but with a
Oh, Chiron. Okay. I think the introspection during the second chapter could have been explored more. I think they just kind of focused on him being bullied or whatever during that time in the film. But I think that, well, he does have that one encounter with Kevin and everything, and
Yeah, and I don't know, I think it fits because it's interesting to have an introspective character, but, as they get older, and especially in high school, like, you just feel like you're being rushed around all the time. When you don't, he doesn't have a lot of control over a lot of stuff, and so, I can, I thought it felt natural because it's just like the world is ramping up for him, and he doesn't have this time anymore. Like, he's not 9 anymore. He can't just go to the beach and look at the waves anymore because he has like schoolwork to do and other shit going on. So I thought it fit because there's just like these moments of introspection don't really exist for him as much anymore.
yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, that's completely fair actually. Maybe something that got cut out or something, or I would have liked to see more of would be like those dream sequences. I think those are fantastic and are extremely symbolic and filled with, a whole bunch of shit and fuel for thought, and it propels the characterization of Chiron a lot further than just normal plot shit. So maybe a couple more of those during that second chapter would have, fixed my itch. Did my fix. My fix would be fixed.
Fix your bitch. But also the second part had my favorite scene in the movie, which was that like the sex scene. Like I thought that was really cool, where it's just them in the sand. They didn't put there's like some music, but it's really like low, and it's mostly just like, it's not even like moans, it's just kind of like grunts and doing that, and it focuses on like the hands, and there's nothing. It was such an artistic approach to it that I really enjoyed that scene. It felt like there was a lot of like respect put into that specific scene.
It was so tastefully done and so real and genuine and awkward, like when that scene where he goes to where they go to kiss each other, like, and they're like pulling back, and it's like that. It's very nuanced, very respectful, very thoughtful, very, very cool. I think that is my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah.
So maybe the movie's the best movie of all time, and I'm just a fuckhead. But actually, that's another no. That's another thing I kind of wanted to talk about.
Talk about it.
So this movie is meant for not me. I am a white straight guy. This movie was not made for white straight guys. And good, because there's enough fucking movies made for white straight guys.
Tarantino's made enough.
Exactly. But if I came across as ignorant or, just not understanding of this whole thing, it's a touchy topic, I know. But, just have that in mind. Like, this movie was not made for me, and some things didn't land, but I am entirely sympathetic to those things and the topics that are tackled in this movie. And so that's it.
I think we both recognized, like you said, just the importance of the movie as it exists.
Oh, It's
like
so important, definitely.
it's enough that it exists, and just to add like how well done it is you know, what's the opposite of insult to injury? Like, what is that but good? I don't know what the saying that I'm looking for is, but that.
Good say to to being healthy.
Compliment to the kiss on the cheek.
So yeah, I think, you know, although I have problems with this movie, I think everyone should watch this movie because it's very significant in countless ways. So yeah, let's rate this son of a freaking gun.
Let's do it. I went first last time, so now it's your turn.
So I'm gonna give it 8 out of 10 because just those problems that I had made it a little less impactful for me. But overall, pretty fucking great movie, and I think everyone should watch it.
I'm once again I'm giving this a 10. I loved this. Like, it's a great week.
Double 10.
Has some good art. I really enjoyed all of it.
Fuck yeah.
And yeah, where are we putting this in the listy poo?
Could you read the top 5 again?
We got Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, followed by Drive, followed by Uncut Gems, followed by Inglourious Bastards.
I think we could put this below Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, fucking make me move more shit. I see how it is.
Alright, yeah, fine. Fuckhead.
Fuck it. I'm putting it at the bottom, because I don't want to move it. I have power here. You don't have the list.
I have all the power.
You have no access to this document, this file.
0.
Okay. Career.
So now we move on to the part of the show where we recommend shit to each other. So I'm recommending the record, and I'm gonna do something a little weird. I'm going to scroll through my Spotify albums list.
Okay.
And pick one at random.
Oh, okay. We're really out of ideas.
No, we're not out of ideas. This is a good idea. This is good. This is very good. Okay? All right. We're listening to Blood by Lianne La Havas. Ooh, that's a good record.
Okay, you'll have to send me that one.
I will. Yeah, she's a lovely British R&B singer who is very attractive. And I don't know if you'll like the record, but I do. So, fuck you.
Great. Good. I'm glad.
What about you?
Well, as you may well know, this month that we are in currently is June. It's Pride Month, right? And in the spirit of, we watched a very important movie. I don't know if this one's as good.
Yeah.
But it is also a good change of pace. This is a sad movie. We're gonna cry. We're gonna be watching Blue is the Warmest Color.
Oh boy, get your tissue box.
Get your gay socks.
Get your popcorn. Get your licorice. Get your fucking strawberry.
Get your fucking strawberry.
It's gonna be a long video, man. Okay, shout out to Video Game Donkey.
Shout out to me for waking up today. That's it.
Get fucking doinked, dude. Are you even doinked up?
17:38.
Stop. Okay. Everyone go listen to Blood by Lianne La Havas. Everyone go watch Blue is the Brightest Color?
Warmest Color.
Warmest Color. Let's see, I don't even know the name of the movie. Blue is the Warmest Color. It's on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. Go watch it. Go listen to it.
Shit,
You have no excuse, people. All right. Have a good week, and we'll see you at the next.
And follow us on Instagram, and subscribe, and like, and comment.
Smash that MF like button.
Smash it! If I can see the like button, do it again. And yeah, we upload every Monday, so check in every Monday And email us with suggestions so we don't scroll through our albums and pick one at random.
Fox.
Our email is open. It is onefortheotherpodcast@gmail.com. We will be fielding any and all suggestions. And I say fielding, not taking, because we may say no. We reserve the right to say no.
This is ours, not yours. But it is yours a little bit, so.
Yeah. We serve the people, but like only some kinda. We're like Joe Biden.
Okay, that's good. End point to the podcast. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.